Hello, fifth grade, and welcome back to graphing. I am looking in our math book. This is on page 539. Page 539. This is for my friends that have the small books. Make sure you're on chapter 9. It should say graphing, patterns in graphing. But we're going to look at plotting points, or if another word for plotting points is to plot the coordinates or to plot the ordered pairs. And that's what this lesson's titled. So all of these are the same thing. So I'm going to write coordinates or plotting points. Okay, and it all comes down to understanding that this coordinate plane, okay, coordinate plane has specific spots. Okay, that's why we use graph paper, and each spot is super important, and each spot is labeled based on a number, and you have to follow the rules. Otherwise, when you plot points, they may not be in the right spot. So remember, I was talking yesterday in my other video that our points, they're based on numbers, okay? And right at the center of our coordinate plane, that is our origin, remember? So I'm going to write it down here, origin. And the numbers for the origin, when we're plotting points, you always have to put your parentheses, 0, 0. Okay, that means I don't move anywhere left or right, and I don't move anywhere up or down. You stay right in the center. Okay, so if I wanted to plot points, okay, you always have to remember, okay, we need to necessarily walk somewhere before we can climb it. Okay, so if in my house, I can't go climb a tree unless I walk on flat ground, right? To go there. That's how I think about it. So you first have to walk there and before you can climb up or down. So that's always helps me to remember that I have to do the numbers on the x-axis first, and then we deal with the y-axis numbers. Okay? So when we're thinking about ordered pairs, okay, 0, 0 is an ordered pair. This is the X, and then this is the Y spot, okay? Some things I like to remember is, so X it means going left or right, all right? And then Y means going up or down. So you're really giving directions when you're thinking about these numbers. So if I gave you graph paper and I made a map of places, I could give you ordered pairs to get you, to say, oh, you have to go 3 over and 5 up to get to the pizza parlor, or you have to go 2 left and 5 down to get to the library. So it's like giving orders, ordered pairs, in a certain way. Okay, so one thing I do need to do is I need to label this. So this way is positive. This is quadrant 1. So I'm going to label all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I only have to go to 10. This is 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So on your book on page 539, they give you this first quadrant, right? And they give you an arena and an aquarium. So if I write that on mine, this is aquarium. Okay. Okay, so it says locate the point for which you want to write an ordered pair. And this says write the ordered pairs for the locations of the arena and the aquarium. So it says look below at the x-axis to identify the point's horizontal distance from 0, which is its x-coordinate. So if we're doing the arena first, you start at 0, and you have to remember you have to walk first. That means you walk on solid ground. So we have to go 3 over. So that's why they put a 3 in the first spot. And then you have to think, oh, well, how many do I have to go up? 1, 2. That's why they put a 2 in the second spot. Okay, so that's for the arena. They already did that for you. So if I'm trying to find the aquarium, okay, first remember, there's the parentheses there. All you have to do is count, starting at 0. How many do I have to go over? Oh, 9, right? So if you look, the aquarium, 9 over. I'm going to write it above it. 9 over, that's your first number. And how many up? Starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see it over here, 4. So, comma, and then a 4. Those are my coordinates for the aquarium. And the arena was what? 1, 2, 3, comma, 2. Okay, so you always left or right. Now, if you think about it, we're focusing only on going to the right, and we're only focusing on going up. So the first number, the x, okay, it's always moving right. How many do you move right? And then the second number is always how many do you move up? So that's all we're going to focus on today and practice. And so that's all you need to think about. Okay, so please watch this video if you need help doing things. Okay, so today, what I'd like you all to be practicing, you're going to do page 541 in your math book, okay? Math workbook. And you'll do the whole page. There's 25 things, but if you look at it, it's either plotting points or writing the coordinates. So for like number 1, letter C, okay? It says to write an ordered pair for the given point. So I need to find what are going to be my coordinates for each of those letters. So you're going to need to make sure you have your parentheses and a comma between those points. So if I'm looking at C, look, they help you out already. Remember, the first thing you do, okay, and C is right here, letter C. So watch. So remember, to write coordinates, you always start with the left number. That's the x. Okay, so this is for letter C. So I need to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my first number. So 6 to the right. And how many up? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's just step by step. So all you have to do then on page 541 is you'll write 6, 3 on this blank next to letter C. And then you go to number 2, letter D. So D, now look at this one. Okay, you always start with how many do I go to the right first? Okay, so D is technically, is technically right here. All right, and I'm gonna put it underneath. So D. All right, so do I go right any? Well, I always start at 0, 0, and I go right 1, 2, 3. I do go over 3. Now you have to think, do I go up or down? If you don't go up, then you put a 0 in that spot. 3, 0. Okay? So letter D then would be 3, 0. Well, what if, I'm going to just put it here, what if I have a dot here, and let's call that F? I don't know. Okay? Well, okay. Well, we still have to put our parentheses in. Our first number is always how much do I go right? Well, do you go right any? I'm going to F. Do I go anywhere? I always start at the 0. Do I go right? No. If you say no to going right, you put a 0. Do I go up? Oh, yes, I need to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So that would be 0, 5. Okay, so if you ever get stuck on those where they're on the coordinate plane line, don't freak out. You can do it. You just have to ask yourself those questions. Okay, so don't forget, first number is the x. You know, how much right, how many times to the right do I go? And then the second number is y, and that means how many spaces up do I go? Okay, so that's all it is. And then for the other ones, it says plot and label the points. So for number 5, letter M, you need to put a dot and then label it M on this grid over here. So 0, 9. That means I start at 0, right? And the first 0 means I don't go anywhere to the right. Oh, so I don't move right. I stay at 0. And the second number 9 means I go up 9. 2. Well, you just go up to 9. So you're going to put the point where the lines meet, and then you want to put the letter M next to it. Okay, and then you can like check it off if you need to. But then you go on to the next one, number 6. For H, you have to go 8 to the right and then 6 up. So sometimes it might help if you say, you know, right, and then the second number is up. That's for all of them. Okay, so think about that. And then you jump down here to this next grid. So new letters, but different coordinates. So you need to write the coordinates for the letters that are here. And then down here, you need to plot the points and label with label their letters. And then down here, I want you to try number 25. But I want you to try it, okay? So don't say, I don't know. Just think, okay? Read the question and answer to the best of your ability, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. All right? So do your best graphing and plotting points. Make sure we can read the letters okay, and you can do it. So just remember, all right, it's always about starting at that 0 spot, 0, 0 in the corner, and that's how many right do I go for the first digit, and then how much up do I go for the second digit. And always have your parentheses around your pairs, okay? All right, well, happy plotting.